Welcome to the Arsenal show and a very painful post-match reaction of the Manchester City game. The score ended 5-0 and to be fair, they deserved the 5-0 win. Arsenal were poor. They played well for 5 minutes and then this weak mentality, this lack of character came shining through. And they just absolutely capitulated. The score could have been a hell of a lot more, but there's no shining lights in this game. Steve, welcome, Steve K, to the pod. How are you feeling, Steve, after that game?
I've seen a lot of reaction, heard a lot of people. I mean, they've had time to calm down, if you like, since the end of the game. And thinking about what I'm going to say when I come on tonight, and it's nothing I'm not used to, Kieron. It's nothing that I haven't seen before.
Yep.
It's nothing that shocked me. And when the goals were going in, I wasn't, surprised. And that's a terrible way, that's where my fandom seems to be at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
As you just said, Man City were excellent, but there was nothing I didn't expect there. It was the team that Arteta picked is a similar team to what he's been picking. Ever since his tenure started.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very similar team. Sometimes it's won, sometimes we've drawn, sometimes we've lost. But I don't know what else he can do, personally. Other people will have their own opinions. You might have your own opinion, mate. But
yeah,
for me, I do not know what he can do. You just said it was a poor performance. You just said Arsenal were great. And you're right, they wasn't great. But with this team, with this mixture of licorice all sorts of a football team, if you like, where you just got so many different things in a bag and you're trying to put them all together to try and create something, it's an impossibility. You can never do it. You've got players coming to the end of your career. You've got players that are average. You've got kids that are just starting out in the game. You cannot put that. I mean, I've managed for a small bit, and you can't put all that together and create a winning team. In my opinion.
Me myself, I don't want to come in here and talk about Mikel Arteta because that's taken away from the absolute atrocity, which is what I watched today. Yeah. Plenty of time to calm down and process everything. But let's talk about the first goal. Yeah. First of all, as a goalkeeper, I'm embarrassed for Leno. I don't want to hear about Leno pulled off a wonder save later on in the game, pulled off this save and that save, because I'm sick of it. Yeah. Leno, commanding of your 6-yard box, that is, you should be ashamed of yourself, Leno.
How many times have we said
absolutely
that?
Embarrassing. 5 minutes in, Arsenal were in the game. Not like, oh, we were going to do something, but we've got to be in it. You've got to keep the pressure on, and we were doing that. We were keeping up. Yeah. The ball's in the box. Callum Chambers has looked at his man. He's looked at him. He's seen where he is. He's pointed to him. He's watched him come in. He's still been beaten by him. Yeah. Callum Chambers gets beaten by Gundogan. Yeah. But Bernd Leno as well has no command of the area. You've either, one, you need to be telling Callum Chambers to make sure he clears that ball, head through it, yeah? 2, you need to be commanding the area and taking that ball if it's in the 6-yard box. I never see him do it. I saw him do it once today. It's shocking. It needs to change. And I can see why there is even thoughts about changing Leno. I'm not interested in goalkeepers that can make great saves here and there. Every goalkeeper should have that in their locker. Every goalkeeper should. You see outfield players that have a muck around and go in goal and pull off worldies. People can pull off worldies. Athletic people can pull off worldies. There's more to being a goalkeeper than making a great save, like from Lukaku's header last week. There's loads more than it. It's having it's having your defenders back. It's them not having to worry that you're not going to collect that. It's taking that pressure off defenders, and he ain't doing it. That's the first goal. The second goal, again, atrocious defending, appalling defending. How is that ball piddled through all them players? 4 Arsenal defenders that ball went past. 4 Arsenal defenders. It's shocking. It is shock. This is basic defending. Now we can slap lipstick on all up the top, mate. But down the bottom, it's a mess. Kieron, you got Kieron, and we can't keep making like letting him off. But I can't say anything too much bad about him today. Yeah. But the other 4 defenders that were in that team should not be playing for Arsenal. I like Callum Chambers, but I see where everyone has their issues with him now. I agree now. You can't be getting done by a geezer that's nearly a foot shorter than you. It's embarrassing. Yeah, Rob Holding. Yeah, he's a header and a lumper, and those them defenders, they could be useful. They can be useful. Every team needs a header and a lumper kind of defender, but this guy is not Arsenal level, and he's going to keep dragging Arsenal down because he's not good enough to be in this team. Kolasinac should be going. He's near enough going to Fenerbahce. Why is he in the team? Like there's so much just not happening. Yeah, so much not happening. Mari, even if you'd have bought in Mari, I'm starting to lose confidence in Mari. He seems too stiff. He seems too rigid. It seems like he did a job to get us to there, and after that, it feels like just need to sell him. And the poor geezer didn't even play today, and I'm pulling him up. Like Cedric, I don't mind Cedric, but there was nothing to Cedric's game today. There was nothing to him. It was almost like he weren't there. And Kieron, he was nothing special, but he's not the problem. So I'm not even going to talk about him. He's not the problem. The problem is the other people that were at the back. they were all over the place, and for me it starts off with Leno, because as soon as that first goal went in, it was like a kick in the gut. Go on, Steve.
No, I mean, how can I don't 99.9% of that, mate. I totally agree. But why is Cedric playing? Why is Holding playing? Why is Chambers playing? And I don't want people to turn around who's watching me now and saying, "Well, Gabriel's not injured, right?" Or
he's injured.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't want them to turn around and give that as an excuse. I don't want them to say to me, "Gabriel's injured." I don't want them to say, either.
No, what you mean is they shouldn't be anywhere near the squad. They should be sold, and we should be getting better.
Exactly. They should not be. They're not replacements for those players. They're not good enough to be in the first team.
No, they're not.
They're not good enough to replace our top #1 defenders. I mean, there's arguments to say that we probably need better defenders, centre backs, than Ben White and Gabriel. Really, you know. So, and we've got Holding and Chambers as our centre backs today against the champions.
Honestly, Steve, it's distressing, mate.
But my question is why Tierney? I get what you're saying about Tierney. We've always said I love Tierney. I love the way he gets forward. I love the way he fights the balls. You know, you can see that. You can see it in him. He's got that Arsenal grit. I love it. It's the type of player I love. I love players who's got a bit of balls about them. But he was at fault again today for the goal. I'm sorry, he was.
Go on, which one? Which one?
He's positioning over that side. He just let twice. the geezer could have, I forget who crossed it, but he could have crossed it the first time, and he decided to let him get away with that. And then the second, he just laid off him, too far off his man, and he crossed the ball over, first goal, and then Gundogan headed it in.
Oh, you talk about for the cross?
Yeah, it's too far away again.
Yeah, no, look, I'm sure he was, Steve. But what I'm looking at is.
But it's every week, Kieron.
Yeah.
It's every week.
Okay, cool.
Twice
but what I'm looking at, and there was the one where they were where Saka didn't cover him as well, didn't help him out against James as well. Yeah. What I'm looking at, is all right, cool. That ball got in the box. Kieron should have closed him down. He's got to do better there. But there's two players in our box. One that can use their hands, and it's a 6-yard box.
Well, that's the main reason.
It's
in
the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
You've got to command your area.
It's like what the guy said. The guy did say on the actual who was doing the commentary. He did say Kieron Tierney hasn't covered himself in glory. You know, we're letting him get the cross in. And I'm thinking, well, he keeps doing that all the time. I mean, how many times we talk about it on it? But saying that, when it's got across, what happened in there was the reason why they scored the goal more than the cross.
Yeah, but we do need the crossing and the crossing that is becoming too easy. It is a problem.
That's 3 goals now in 2 weeks now that's come up because of bad positioning. Or it's like Ashley Cole. I remember watching Ashley Cole and thinking, my God, your positioning is terrible. What are you doing? You got to do. And eventually he learned it, and Kieron Tierney will learn it, and because he's only young.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, but I don't know whether it's going to be with this team because people will just end up getting fed up. Like today. Holding, Chambers. Holding and Chambers for me. And Chambers was really bad today, and I like the kid, but he was really not good today. Not good.
But where do you class them 3? We'll take Tierney out of it, yeah. We'll take Tierney out, but Kolasinac, Chambers, Holding, and Cedric. If that was in the middle of the championship, 10th place in the championship, you wouldn't blink.
No.
So what I've been talking to a few people today. What do people? Please put in the comments. What do you expect Arteta to do with these players against the champions? Against players who you would not blink at if they played in the championship.
Yeah, no. What I expect
I might be wrong.
No, but what I expect is professional level defending. At any level, some of the defenders today was disgraceful.
Terrible, yeah.
Was awful. And I'm talking these are professional footballers. Like at any level above the National League and above, this is the kind of defending that should be happening. If you're getting out-jumped by a centre midfielder who's at least 4 or 5 inches shorter than you, how is that? You've watched him. You pointed to him. Goalkeepers in the Championship, League 1, League 2 are getting absolutely ripped to shreds by their manager if a ball lands in the 6-yard box, on the edge of the 6-yard box, and the goalkeeper's not come to claim it. That's schoolboy. Yeah. That's schoolboy. And he doesn't command the area. Like this is basics. If I didn't go and at least try and punch that ball out off of Gundogan's head, I'd expect to go and walk into the change room and the manager give me an absolute bollocking. Yeah. Absolutely rip me to shreds about that.
The worrying thing
that's not at pro level.
The worrying thing is there's no fight.
There's no fight.
There's no fight there. There's just it doesn't. Yeah. I don't know if there's something because this has gone on for years now. This ain't this season. This ain't last season. This ain't the season before. This is going back since Kroenke started there. Whether there's some kind of mentality going on inside the club, and when players go to the club, there's something that happens to them when they're in there. You know, whether it is too easy, whether it's the big contract, whether given such an easy lifestyle that they're just, not bothered. There was one player for me who seemed up for it today. We'll get to that. But there seems to be this lack of, desire when in this side for at least the last 10 years now. And this, as I say, we can talk about today. We can talk about other games, but this has gone on for a long while now. And Arteta hasn't been the manager. This has gone on when Emery's been the manager. This has gone on when Wenger's been the manager. This has gone on when Lundberg's been in the manager. I'm not saying if you get rid of Arteta and someone comes in, things won't change. But for me, unless he goes, unless Kroenke sells this club, and I've said it for a long while now, this is it. This is it. Don't expect. No, this is it. We're not changing because nobody's coming to the club. Nobody's, because this is like this is something inside the club. I think it has to be because it's manager after manager. I mean, you go back to the Bayern Munich to 5-1s to 5-1s. You go back to the Chelsea's where we got beat 4-1s, 8-2 United. The times we got thrashed by Liverpool, 5s and 5s. We're going through the years here. Spurs 5-1, United another 6-1, City 5-0, Southampton 4-0, Palace 3-0. This is going on and on and on through managers. This ain't about Arteta.
They feel sorry for themselves. I saw after the first goal people feeling sorry for themselves. The second goal that was it. The second goal, that's what scared me because the second goal was 11 minutes in, and they were walking around like, we've lost today's game. That's it. That was like, oh no, this could get silly now because it feels like the players are giving up. It feels like they just go through the motions and keep asking the ref how long there is of the game, looking up at the clock. It was horrible today. It was horrible. But weirdly, I done myself over because 5 minutes in, I was like, do you know what? We might give them a game today. I'm not saying we're going to lose or we're going to win, but do you know what? This is the kind of what we were looking for. This, and then one goal. It takes one goal for these guys to turn around and give up. To just think, another day. It's just call this one a day. It's always going to be. We're against the champions. It's a stinking mentality that's going through that team. I don't know whether it's the club. And we know these things are a club thing as well because we see it with Tottenham down the road. That they're a similar thing once they get to a certain point. It's a mentality thing. It's the same reason why Liverpool, once they get to a certain point in Europe, they usually push through to a final because in the club, the history. Man United, Man City now, Chelsea now. Once they get to a certain stage, they push through to the end because it's now in the club. It's the mentality. It's in the club. Arsenal have not got that anymore. They've got a horrible mentality. It stinks. Absolutely stinks.
It does. It stinks. And as I said, that every game, every time we get sort of have a bad performance or we have a game like this where we get hammered or played off the park, I always hear this. I always think, right, how can we get out of this? How can things change? I've been in that with that train of thought now for years and years and years and years, and I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of it because I'm beginning to sit down and watch Arsenal, and I'm like, well, if we lose, then no shock.
That's
the frightening thing with me because I've been
This is the thing. This
is scary for me.
Yeah, this is the thing. We're not going into games being the happy, optimistic fans anymore, where it's like, we get a draw out of this one, but we could. You never know. We could get a win. It's not that. It's like now the general consensus is, we're going to lose this one, but let's put in a good performance. I've never said that. I've never said that. No. I've been that crazy fool that people are like, no, kids, you're losing stuff. It's like, bruv, you mad? We're not losing. We can get a win here. I always talk it up. Now I can't. It's like, like if we do lose, let's lose well. Let's show some fight.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
You lose. It don't matter. Losing is losing. And we can't even get into that losing mentality where losing's okay if you tried hard. We lost. It would be poor if we tried hard. It would be poor if we didn't. I don't want to see losing. Get out of this losing mentality. It stinks. It
But
absolutely
we're stuck in a position there, Kieron, where I sound like a broken record, but we are now in that position where, personally, I think we're done. I seriously think we're done. Unless we get that guy from Spotify comes in and Stan Kroenke decides to sell, and Daniel York gives whoever the manager it is 300 million, 350 million to go and get some players to spend on transfers, then this is for the next 5 years. This.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Do you know why? Because
Stan Kroenke's done it. No one else.
Yes, exactly. So stop looking at managers, people. We can keep looking at managers because always after about a year, these managers that you were singing the praises of are always not good enough. Just remember that. And I'll start taking screenshots of people saying, "Oh, it's finally we got this guy in." Don't talk about Conte. Don't know why people are talking about Conte. Let's get Conte in. Like it's a choice. Like it's a choice to just turn around and say, "Yeah, let's get Conte in."
Yeah, that's probably maybe his weekend. That
like Conte,
laughing his head off. Like
Conte is going to get the money he needs to turn this team around because you've got Kolasinac in the team, you've got Holding, you've got Chambers in the team. Now, okay, you've got Ben White, El Nene. Okay, you've got Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes sitting there coming back from injury. But as we know, in any season, you can't rely on two players to stay in that position the whole season. You need to have a squad, and your squad depth needs to be nearly as good as your first team, or nearly as good. It needs to be as good or nearly as good. This whole gap of Gabriel Magalhaes, Ben White, who were still unknowns in the world of Premier League football. Yeah, remember that. And then you've got Rob Holding, Kolasinac, a player we've been trying to get rid of for 3 seasons. Callum Chambers, who I personally like, but he's not Arsenal level now. He's not. And when I say Arsenal level, it's the level that we want to go to, not the level we are now. Because right now he's not even at that level, and we're currently sitting at the bottom of the league.
And I'll tell you what, kid, just before you go on, Arsenal have killed Callum Chambers.
Yeah, he was. He was a prospect.
Callum Chambers, he came in the Arsenal side, and I thought, oi, we've got something a bit tasty here.
Yeah.
Callum Chambers, but they've messed him about, played him right back, played him left back, played him centre back, played him midfield, sent him out on loan. He's still only young. And now, I know the mistake he made today, and it was a terrible one, but again, he's one of the players I feel sorry for.
Yeah, he's one of the players, many of them, that need to lead this club to develop their career. Joe Willock's done it. Reece Nelson, you need to get out of it, mate. Get out of it. Stop sitting on the bench and just being happy that you're at Arsenal. Get out of it, mate. Have a bit more pride in your development because you ain't going to do nothing at this club. Chambers, get out. Holding, you do the same. Go. And this ain't get out of my club. I ain't like that. This is get out for your own health.
Would you say the same thing, though? I mean, this is an honest question. Would you say the same thing to Smith Rowe and Saka?
Not right now, because I think that they can make the club better with the right players around them, and I think they got right players around them. The likes of Pepe, the likes of Odegaard, the likes of even Aubameyang. When he wants to pull his finger out, they've got players that they can look around and go, these are the players that I can look to. These are the players that I can challenge, that can challenge me. But like Holding's not getting challenged. Chambers ain't getting challenged. Kolasinac ain't playing games, and now all of a sudden he is playing games. Like this is a geezer who he couldn't buy a game last season, trying to ship him out to everywhere. And now all of a sudden he's getting 2-3 games in a row. Like what is this club about?
Yeah,
it's a mess. It's a mess. Like I spoke to someone the other day who said,
I go back to that time, Kieron, when we needed those 2 players to win the title. And we all know the conversation. We got checked. We all know that. And then,
but apparently
ever since that time, we have gone.
But Steve, apparently that was Arsene Wenger because he didn't want to spend money. Apparently that was Arsene Wenger because he didn't want to spend money. Yeah. Then you hear stories where. Now you're hearing stories where it was like, oh no, obviously Kroenke wasn't going to start spending big money when Usmanov was there. So was it because of Arsene Wenger or was it because of Usmanov? Because from what I'm guessing, people, you don't actually know. You have no clue. You have no clue. You literally have zero clue.
Yeah. I mean, Arteta's coming out. Arteta's coming out with a few rumblings, isn't he? He's saying things are awkward at the moment behind the scenes. Yes, I've heard him actually say it. And things will come out in the future, and you'll understand why things have been awkward for us. So God knows what that means, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
whether that's something to do with the FFP, I don't know, but I seriously don't. All I know is we're in serious trouble, and you know we're trying to like diagnose it, you know, dissect it, but we've dissected it and diagnosed it so many times. And it's just due to the fact now that, you know, we have a team, we have a squad, you know, 80% no fault of their own. They're just average. They haven't got the quality. And it's just, I don't know. And we need players to come in. But we're at that situation now. We're a club where players don't want to go to. They want to play in Europe. Arsenal ain't getting in Europe.
Yeah, not anytime soon.
No.
Anytime soon. All right. Before we're here all day, let's crack on with the player ratings. This is going to be fun. Comment section, I want to hear you. I know there's people watching now. Come on, I want to hear your player ratings as we go along. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Don't be shy. I want to see the comment section popping now. All right, say what you got to say. Get it off your chest. Bernd Leno.
But then, no, look, you said it all. He had a terrible day today. He made a couple of saves, but it's like what you said. Everybody makes a couple of saves. We all can make a couple of good saves in a game, but his positioning, his handling was awful. You know, he probably could have got a mark lower than what I'm going to give him. So, but I put Leno down for a 3.
Oh, that's exactly what I was just going to put. I already had that written in there, and I'll add to that. Yeah, again, this is not about making worldy saves. I'd much rather have a goalkeeper that can't make worldy saves, but his position is great. So every time a ball gets crossed, he can catch it. Every time there is a shot on goal, he's in there standing and catching it or palming it wide. I'm not interested in worldy saves. Yeah, that's a small part of being a goalkeeper. Claiming a ball early doors within 5 minutes of the game, yeah, which will ease the pressure on your defenders, even punching it out, which will give them sort of just a bit of clarification that you're there and supporting, is so much more than making a worldy save when you're 2-0 down at an 80th minute to stop it from being 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. I don't care about worldy saves. It's not important. So people, stop talking about old Leno makes a great save here and there when all the other things are not matching up. All right. There's a reason why Aaron Ramsdale was bought for 25 million, and they were probably willing to go higher than that. There's a reason. So think about that.
One of the best shot stoppers, Kieron. One of the best shot stoppers in the Premiership over the last 5 years was Joe Hart. Fantastic shot stopper.
Yeah,
you know, making saves, you know, just getting across his box. But Pep came in, and because he couldn't command his area, and because he wasn't good with his feet, and because he was nervous with a ball, as soon as he walked in, he was out.
It didn't work. Rob Holding.
Rob Holding, you know, he was, you know, he had a terrible game today as well. You know, he just looked like a boy.
He did.
You know, again up against those City players, and I gave Holding a 3.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Callum Chambers.
Callum Chambers, as we said, we like Callum Chambers, and he's had probably over the last 10, 15 games, you know, he'll be up there with probably one of the best Arsenal players, but he never had a good day today. I thought he was just that little bit better than Rob Holding, though. I know he made that big mistake for the goal, but I thought he sort of after that he tried to make things right. He made a couple of more mistakes, but I could see him trying. I think he was better than Holding, so I give him a 4.
Cedric Soares.
Cedric, he didn't do. He was all right today. He, pretty much pretty average. He was certainly better than Holding and Chambers, so I'll have to give him. I'll have to give him a 5.
Yeah, well, with Cedric and with probably Kolasinac, I don't even remember him playing.
No.
That's the worrying thing.
Yeah.
That's the worrying thing. They're our wing backs. I don't even remember him playing.
Yeah.
Like
they never got forward.
They never got forward. There were no threat. Like zero threat. Like how? There's no wonder Cancelo ripped us today. Cancelo was playing as a winger today because there was no threat. He didn't have to get back. He didn't have to get back. Yeah, that's a problem. Kolasinac.
Like you just said, he didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing right.
I don't remember. I don't even remember him playing. Seriously, don't remember him playing.
He made a mistake. He done a silly tackle that he got booked, which was a bit unprofessional of him. But I gave him a 4.
Why is he in the team? Why is he in the team when this is someone who is definitely moving on? Why is he in the squad? Why is he potentially risking people of getting COVID? What I don't understand why this man, who Arsenal are actively looking to get rid of, who are actively talking about terminating his contract, has now played 3 games for Arsenal this season. I'm baffled.
The only thing I can think of is, they are in talks to terminate his contract. The only thing it hasn't, Fenerbahce want him. The only reason why it hasn't gone through is because he wants a little bit of this on top, and they're negotiating that. And at the moment, he's still there. So whether it's the only thing I can think of is that they're keeping him fit, and they've had some kind of for Fenerbahce for this, so he can go straight into the season. I can't think of any other reason why, because Pepe could have gone there and done the job. Tavares could have gone there and done the job. So
Thank you.
It makes no sense.
It don't make no sense. It's just decisions that are happening I just don't get. Kieron Tierney. Needs a new pair of bloody shorts. I don't understand his shorts. Why are they so tight? Everyone else wearing normal shorts. He looks like he's got tailored shorts on.
Kieron Tierney's got to sort out his positioning, and
yeah, he does.
He seriously has. He's got to sort his defending out. He's excellent going forward. There's no doubts about that. But there was nothing amazingly sort of fantastic for him going forward. He was getting forward, but there wasn't any, major chances that I can't remember off the top of my head that he made. But I'm just because of the fact that he got forward more than Cedric. I thought Cedric defended better, so I'm going to give him the same marks. I'm going to give him 5.
Okay, Kieron gets a 5. Granit Xhaka.
Mr. Granit Xhaka didn't have a good day, did he?
No, I can't back him up today.
Wasn't a good day at office.
Silly challenge. At first I thought it was a bit harsh because I hadn't seen it properly. I only saw the replay. But I looked at it again and it was so silly. It was so silly.
I didn't think it was a sending off.
It's one of them when they look at it back. When they look at it back, when you look at it back, his feet are off the ground. So when I first saw it, I thought, it's a bit harsh. He slid. Okay, his studs are up. But he slid. It's a yellow card. And it's a warning. Like the next one, you're going off, mate. But when you look at it in replay, both feet are off the ground. So you can't really argue with it. You can't really argue with it. It's the rules now. So ball or not, it's a rash decision. Xhaka knows that he can't be doing that, and it comes from frustration. It comes from being frustrated.
Yeah, it does, and he's one of these players who's like T, and he has got some balls, and sometimes they go over the top and they get angry. I mean, Patrick Vieira lost it. I mean, he spat and headbutted people, and we called him a legend. So
yeah, but the only thing, but at this point in time, he was a legend. 4 years down the line, Xhaka's not a legend. I've not got problems with Xhaka. Look, he serves a purpose and he does a job, and I think the people are overly critical of him and his certain aspects of his game which he just hasn't got. Which it seems silly that people are moaning about the things that he hasn't got, not looking at the things that he does do, and then blaming him because he ain't picking himself. Trying to turn around and say Xhaka is slow is obvious. Yeah. But the man just picked him. Yeah. Like he's not going to speed up. Yeah. You just got to get over it.
What I can say to them people who you're just talking about there, why do you think Odegaard and Smith Rowe played in front of Xhaka? So they could do the job that he don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So stop asking him to do jobs, which Odegaard and Smith Rowe. Stop asking him to score goals. Stop asking him to make goals. It's not his job. It's not what he does. Watching for Switzerland, it's not what he does. Watching for Bayern, Borussia Mönchengladbach, it's not what he does. It's not what he is. If you want him to be something else and you want another player to come in and do something different, fine, sell him, get rid of him. But he can't make himself something he's not.
Yeah.
I'll give Xhaka a 3.
Okay. Xhaka gets a 3. Yeah, you can't. You're a captain in a team, whether you're captain's a day or captain or club captain or vice captain. Rush of blood to the head, getting frustrated and things like that. You can't. You've got to stand up. Got to stand up.
I mean, look, I like Xhaka, but look, when I see a football match, I'll say it is Xhaka a 3.
Saka,
he tried his best today. I thought he tried to get down there. I mean,
I thought early doors it was encouraging for him.
Yeah, I feel it was. I mean, Man City definitely, were told to stop him. I mean,
they were.
You could see that, and a couple of times he did well.
Yeah.
I gave Saka a 6.
Yeah. One thing with Saka, I would just like him to ride more challenges sometimes. I think sometimes with Saka, like he's running at pace and I get that he will go to ground. But sometimes I think that it comes across that he's looking for the foul when I don't think he is. So I think that if he just tries to ride it a bit more, rather than that first initial touch and he'd go into ground, if he tries to ride it a bit more, I think he'd get more. I think he'd get more from these referees. But where it's as soon as he's touched, he's going down. It looks like he's diving sometimes, but he's not. Like because I remember we used to see Gareth Bale always get penalties, always get free kicks, and people used to say, "Oh, it's because he's running so fast that it just takes a clip and he goes flying." And I think that's very similar to Saka. But I also think that if you try to ride that challenge a bit more, rather than just going down, referees will give you that foul. They will, because like even today, I thought he got clipped. I thought he did get clipped, but the referee's never going to give that because it would come across as too soft. But I think if he tries to ride that challenge, maybe stumbles a bit, he's got it.
Yeah, but one thing I was screaming at the TV when I was watching the game, if that was Jack Grealish up that end, over end, it would have been a penalty. I'm
pretty sure he got more than what the referee thinks as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But he done all right. Saka, and shows his fitness is coming back, so that's encouraging. So I give him a 6.
And with Smith Rowe,
Smith Rowe, I thought he did all right. I thought he picked up the ball. I thought he was, he was looking to try and do things, but they just, they just swamped him. Rodri was sort of on him every minute. It was hard for him to do anything. Smith Rowe, but he was trying. You could see he was trying. He got pulled down a couple of times, but I didn't mind Smith Rowe's performance today. but I gave them 6.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I just like it's almost as if again another thing. It's almost as if sometimes we feel hard done by getting like those free kicks that because clubs will notice our dangers. Smith Rowe, Saka, Pepe, and they will take them out. But it's almost as if we feel sorry for ourselves. We feel hard done by that. Oh, we've been taken out. Oh, come on. Oh. But we do that to other tems.
Yeah.
We do that to other teams.
Yeah.
And what do? They get up and score a free kick. They get up and make something of the chance. Whereas we're like, oh, we need to. It's a massive mentality issue we've got this team. We've been speaking about it for years, 15 odd years. The mentality in the squad.
When a player comes in, they continue. It's like a disease, and they catch it.
Honestly, it feels like it. Honestly, it feels like it.
You know.
Yeah, it's seriously distressing. Odegaard.
Well, I had player cam on Odegaard today. One of them times where I watched the whole game and I was watching everything he did, every movement he did, where he went, and I thought he did all right. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought he was, he was doing things that I didn't want him to do, which I felt that he obviously had to do because of the opposition. He had to get back. He had to defend quite a lot. But he was getting his foot in and he was breaking up play a few times. We said, like we said on the preview show, he was breaking it up, playing it off. And yeah, he was all right. He was trying to place a few balls up to the front. But it's very difficult when you've got like 3 defenders and they're all marking Aubameyang. And you've got to find that through ball or that overhead ball to Aubameyang. And then you've got to rely on Aubameyang to make the right movements. And he didn't really do that today. But I gave Odegaard a 6.
Right, Odegaard. 6. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Yeah, you could see that he in the end he just got fed up. He got annoyed. You could see in his face that he wasn't happy with what was going on. He was trying to run in the first half. I thought he was okay. But then as the game on and as the goals started going in, his head started going down and, he was running less and less, which again is a bit worrying because, look, he's our captain, he's our talisman, and he's probably the only man, as soon as Odegaard and Smith Rowe get the ball, look, he's the man they're looking for. You're the guy, Pierre, you're the guy. Look, you're the guy. And he wasn't doing what I was hoping he was doing today, and I give Aubameyang a 5.
Mohamed El Nenu, he ended up coming on at half time because of Xhaka's red card.
Yeah. No, El Neni, he's so he does what El Neni does, doesn't he?
He's like a packet of no frills crisps.
Exactly.
He's
really salted.
Yeah, he's not trying to.
Plain ones.
He's not trying to
impress.
Yeah, he's not trying to drop a shoulder and take it past a man. He keeps the game quite simple.
It's like
he's a squad player. He's a squad player.
Yeah, Arteta knows what he can do though, and what he's capable of, and I think most of the time when he's brought on or he plays, I think he does the job. I know he gets a lot of stick from a certain section of Arsenal fans, but I think they should have a look at him, because I don't think he deserves the criticism sometimes that he gets from other Arsenal fans. I think he gets it because he's quiet and he keeps himself to himself, so he's an easy target. But all I say to that is, have a little bit of watch of him. I mean, he's been signed up on quite a big gold contract now, so he's there, whether you like it or not. So, but he did all right. I'll give him a 5.
Maitland-Niles.
Maitland-Niles. I can't remember what much he did.
Yeah, again. It's another player. This team is riddled with players that they're trying to sell. That's a sorry state of affairs.
Yeah. It's Yeah, I mean, he came on. You know, we're bringing players on that you think, you know, your heart can't be in it because you know you're not playing, and you know you're not in Arteta's plans because you know full well that when this window comes up, please God, you know, the last 2 days they're going to be looking for players, you know, and you're not going to be a first team player, so that's got to play on your mind psychologically, and you know, you could tell that was the case when he come on. He didn't do nothing wrong, but I give him a 4.
And Alexander Lacazette.
Yeah, I mean, he was again game's over by the time he come on, wasn't it? I mean, he wasn't. You know, he done a few runs. You know, but he didn't have a lot of time to do much. So, yeah, same as Maitland-Niles, give him a 4, but you know, only because he come on a sub and didn't have time to do much.
All right. So those are our player ratings. Yeah, let us know what you think of the player ratings. Whether you thought it was too harsh, whether you thought it was too soft. Hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think. I mean, this was only meant to be a 15-minute pod. It's gone 45 minutes now. So that is what Arsenal have done to us. Thank you very much. Once again, Arsenal ruined my weekend.
Got a break now.
Yes, there was an international break. Arsenal currently sit in the bottom of the league, so that's always a good thing to go into the international break with. Is Arsenal sitting currently bottom? But who have we got?
I've never known that. I mean, when have you ever known? I can't remember the time. I can't remember saying that word. Arsenal bottom.
Yeah, it's
and again, look, I'll say it again. Don't, you know, Arteta's not going to be able to turn it around with this group of players. You know, if you want to get rid of him, fine, but you'll be getting rid of the next manager that comes in. I guarantee it, unless you're going to buy, you know, some more players, and even with these players, you know, half of them have got to go.
Arsenal got 6 games that they've got to get something out of all of them, and I mean, winning at least 5. 1 draw would be just about acceptable, but I think it needs a win just to sort of settle everyone, fans, players alike, because that game's against Tottenham at home as well. So there's no losing that game. You can't lose that game. It's just not an option.
I mean, what I worry about is that. Would you think he'll get the 6 games?
Well, yeah, I do. Because I don't think they're going to give him 130 million to spend, potentially more coming up to the next few days, to then just sack him this early. It would be silly. What's the point? If you had the faith in him to give him that money, then have the faith to back him for at least till Christmas. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to just sack him now. It'd be
the only thing is, like, when is the Tottenham game? Is that last game?
Yeah, that's the last of the. No, it's not last of the 6. Tottenham game.
Because normally what they do when they play, you know, the way they think, don't they? They think, oh, you know, if he beats the Tottenham team, we've got to keep him. You know, boards and chairman, they've got that way of thinking sometimes, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's the 4th game.
The big game.
No, it's the 4th game. So Arsenal got Norwich at home. They've got Burnley away. They've got Capital EFL Cup against Wimbledon. Then they've got Tottenham on the 26th of September.
Yeah.
Then they've got Brighton away, and then they've got Crystal Palace at home. Arsenal needs to win all of them to get back on track. Like we can't be thinking about draws here, draws there. Take that. No. Arsenal need to win all 6 games. Because that shows that they are back in the swing of things, and they're beating some decent teams as well. So, yeah. All right, people. Thank you for joining us live for a 50-minute breakdown. Once again, I will reiterate, these are usually only 15, 20 minutes. This one, we had a few more things to say. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, people. Make sure you go and follow on the Twitter and the Instagram. Yeah, hit us up in the comment section with what you think. Thanks for joining us today, Steve.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Cheers.
All right, and thank you for everyone else for joining us. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.